Time Warner Cable's local edition. I'm Brad Pomerance. He is back. He is Wren Brown. He is the founder of the Ebony Repertory Theater, which for our viewers is what?
The Ebony Repertory Theater was founded in 2008, and it is the first and only African-American equity professional theater in the history of Los Angeles.
How'd you do that?
Wrote a 2-page white paper. Prior to that, 3 years prior, had a vision of really occupying the Nate Holden Performing Arts Center.
Which, by the way, if you have not been, is really a crown jewel. I mean, it is a
really
beautiful, large theater.
Yes, it is.
With, you know, nice acoustics and a beautiful surrounding and setting.
Very, very warm, very inviting, and our theater holds dance, theater, music, and all disciplines so well. You know, the sight lines are fantastic, and we're right there on Washington Boulevard between La Brea and Crenshaw.
So it's fairly close to a lot of different areas of the city.
Absolutely.
And it's very easily accessible. The only bad news is I don't get to see you on stage because you're the founder and producer.
That's true.
But that being said, you have a production coming up that I want to see. I admit it. I like gospel. I'm sorry. It speaks to me. It speaks to me. Gospel speaks to me. And so talk to us about the Gospel at Colonus.
The Gospel at Colonus, we're producing it. We open June 20th. This will be the 30th anniversary of the original Los Angeles production of the Gospel at Colonus, which was at the Doolittle Theater on Vine Street, starring the great Morgan Freeman.
Oh, you're kidding.
2 years prior to his doing Street Smart and being catapulted into stratospheric stardom. Clarence Fountain and the Five Blind Boys of Alabama, the Soul Stirrers were in that production. Carolyn Johnson White, Carl Lumley, Sam Butler. So I saw the show 10 times.
Really?
At the Doolittle.
You weren't born then, though. How did you do that?
Yes, yes.
How were you? You were born 30 years ago.
Well, you honor me.
Exactly.
But I was 20 on my way to being 21, and I was absolutely positively, concussively impacted by the brilliance of this work. And so to now function in the role of cultural leadership with the Ebony Repertory Theater and to be able to bring this production to this Los Angeles community is a joy unspeakable for me.
And I must say, though, you do have a pretty impressive cast. I mean, Morgan Freeman, he was on the other side of his career. He was just getting started. You have a Tony Award winner joining you.
Roger Robinson, the Tony Award winner for Joe Turner's Come and Gone, the revival of Joe Turner's Come and Gone on Broadway. Roger is one of the most brilliant and dimensional artists I've ever laid eyes on. What a joy it is for me to know him as friend and colleague, but he is so brilliant, and he's one of the architects of the building of Ebony Repertory Theater, so we're honored to have him.
And he plays Oedipus, and tell us a bit about the plot, if you can.
Oedipus, the story Sophocles, wrote this extraordinary story about the life of Oedipus, who kills his father, Laius, who ends up having children with his mother, Jocasta.
Well, it's the Oedipal complex. We know it well.
Exactly. And so it really, really is about him coming back to Colonus and attempting to have a place to be buried with grace and dignity, but he has to go back through all of the pain to end the plague. And so there is the actor Oedipus, Roger Robinson, and then there's the singing Oedipus, the brilliant Ellis Hall, who we call the ambassador of soul. So we're thrilled to present this work.
Let's talk about how we can go, because you know I want to be there. You said it opens on June 20th. Will run essentially for a month to July 19th.
That's correct.
Is it daily? Is it weekends?
We play Friday at 8 p.m., Saturday at 2 p.m., Saturday at 8 p.m., and then Sunday at 3 p.m.
So there's 4 shows, I guess.
Per week.
So about 16 shows.
Yes, that's right.
How can we buy tickets?
We can go to www.ebonyrep.org. or you can dial 964-9766.
And what area code, just so we know?
323.
Okay,
323-964-9766.
So I want to remind our audience, the Gospel at Colonus is playing at the Ebony Repertory Theater, which is at the Nate Holden Performing Arts Center. That is on West Washington Boulevard between, what'd you say
La
again?
Brea and Crenshaw.
I got to tell you, this is a really special space, and I can only imagine how the music will touch the audience. I look forward to it touching me, and I thank you, Wren Brown, for joining us.
Brad, thank you.
Founder of the Ebony Repertory Theater. I'm Brad Pomerance. It's Time Warner Cable's local edition.